What's up, guys? Go back to a video, and we just got Moon Knight episode 4, and it was like so good. And it featured more of like Steven and Layla. With this episode, it was like a ton of action and lead to Arthur Horrow. And plus at a hospital, and for like that unexpected ending that I totally like sensed the game. It was a total game changer for the next 2 episodes and for the rest of the series as well. And with the Moon Knight episode 4, with the ending, it just really changed the game as well. And plus, with this episode, there were cool Easter eggs or stuff that they may have missed in this episode as well. So in this video, this will be my full breakdown for Moon Knight episode 4, going over all the Easter eggs, the things you missed, and that insane ending that totally sets up the next 2 episodes of Moon Knight and totally changed the game, especially for the entire series. But if you have not seen Moon Knight episode 4, there are going to be some major spoilers in this video, including for that mind-blowing and ending and that like game changer and like crazy twist that totally sets up the last 2 episodes of the series. But if you're new here and you enjoy stuff like this, then be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you miss out on videos like this in the future. So let's get into it. So episode 4 opens up with Khonshu. Plus he's like in prison note in stone, and plus this is how the last episode ended, because at the ending of last episode we saw the Mr. Knight and Khonshu just turning back the night sky for like 2,000 years for him, and later just to get to the tube, and then when Khonshu is now in stone, and plus he's be freed, and then he's like staying there and like a display with like other conscious and prisons in stone. And then we open up on Layla trying to kill the guys and that van after they are trying to kill like them, like Layla and Mark, and plus with that Layla grabs the flare and tries to blow up the van, and then we see like Steven and Layla and the van together. After we see the Mark personality talking to Steven, and then it's revealed that like Mark and Steven made a deal, and that involved with them like disappearing from Layla's life. Plus, with this, we see Steven and Layla trying to get to Ahmed's tub before Arthur Horrow gets there as well. And plus, with this, with them trying to get to the tub so that they can get the scarab. And then we see Steven and Mark in like a tent, and then with this, and then what Mark is saying that Steven is in love with Mark's wife, and then we see the 2 of them talking, and then like with Steven, he confesses to Layla and that Mark is trying to protect Layla from Khonshu. And then we see the 2 of them kissing, and with this with like Steven like kissing Mark's wife, who is Layla. And then we see Steven and Layla in the cave trying to get to Ahmed's tub, and then we see Steven like drawing out the third eye of Horowitz in sand, and with the third eye of Horowitz, it allows users to see beyond the human spectrum, and the side effects include the isness and like so many things and much more. Plus, I think that the last time we saw this was in the last Doctor Strange 2 trailer, where we saw Sister Strange and the third eye within him. But with Steven like drawing out the third eye of Horowitz, it is revealed it's like a symbol and protection of in the afterlife. And now with the third eye of Horowitz, so what we're seeing here, and now with the third eye of Horowitz in Egyptian mythology, it's like a symbol used all over the world. It's a symbol as like healing and protection, and with the symbol, it's like combined with like autonomy, art, and much more. And plus, is that's what the eye of Horowitz looks like. Plus, it's with the Egyptian mythology. And now with Layla saying that her avatar was a pharaoh, and with Mark saying that a bloody pharaoh as well, it's like relating to the tube of pharaoh. Senti, it's because in the comics with the Senti, the second, he was like the 5th pharaoh in a dynasty of Egypt. And now, with the term of Pharaoh, it's referring to Rama-Tut, aka King the Conqueror, and I think we saw this as like an Easter egg back in episode 3 when Mark was like fighting off a couple guys, and then we saw an Easter egg for Rama-Tut, and now with the Pharaoh Rama-Tut, aka King the Conqueror, and with the king, he has like many sorts of names, and plus we could be seeing another king variant on the way sooner rather than later, but I don't know if that's possible. And then as we see them all over the cave trying to get to the tub, but to get to the scarab, and then we see Layla like spotting like a bunch of like creatures or like things like imprisoned in stone. And now what is it? It's called a Shapti. And now what the Shapti Egyptian mythology, there's usually these funerally types of figurines that are imprisoned in sand. And now what these figurines are also found in ancient Egyptian tombs. And then after that, we see Steven and Layla being attacked by this vampire creature, and which is like attacking and like killing the human and like eating it's like brains or like. And then we see them getting attacked, and then we see Layla also getting attacked as well. And then like when this she tries to fight out the vampire creature, and then it finally tumbles down. And then like she survives by like choking and like killing the vampire creature, and then she spots Arthur Horrow, and then we see Steven in like the cave, and these parts a tub lead him to the tub of Alexander the Great, and now with Alexander the Great, it has like an early history. Now with its own army, and with them calling Alexander the Great, or in other words, a master of the universe. And then we see Arthur and Layla. If what Arthur reveals is like they fully Layla's father, that he reveals that like he was a famous and unique archaeologist, along with the other archaeologists too, as well as that like they were killed by Mark, but because with the Mark he reveals what Mark remembers on that date. I think this was mentioned back in episode 2, and that it killed all the other archaeologists as well, including for Layla's father. And then we see Steven reaching into Alexander the Great to grab the Chevy, which is and then we see Layla and Steven arguing, and which is Steven back into Mark with the confession if he really killed Layla's father, and he said that he didn't. And then it is later revealed of how Layla's father got killed, which, as Steven said, and that his partner got like great and executed everyone at the next day, which this will all mentioned back in episode 2 with Layla. It reveals that like when the killer that led straight to him, but when the Mark he tried to save her father. But like he clearly didn't, and that's why there's a partner who was a killer and killed everyone at the next day, along with the other archaeologists. And plus, what also Layla reveals, because it reveals that that's the reason that like him and Mark met. It's because with Mark, like she reveals that he had a guilty conscience, which it resulted in the death of every archaeologist at that dig site. And now with this like crazy and mind-blowing ending, we see like Mark being surrounded by Arthur and his men, and then the worst thing happens. He gets shot by Arthur, and then he like ends up in the hospital. And then we see an old movie come on called like Tomb of Usher, and then with Usher he calls the Dr. Stephen Grant, and then we hear a guy saying like a big Corner B22, and then we see Mark and like Arthur Horrow talking. Then with Arthur he reveals that I trying to cure Mark, and then he after that Mark runs out of the hospital, and then we see the most mind-blowing thing ever, and that is with the two that reveals Stephen Grant inside, and then we see the two personalities unexpectedly meet each other, and then we see them hug, and then we see them run through the hospital, and then we got the most mind-blowing reveal in this entire episode, and what is the arrival of a Terry. Plus, what Terry, it was a goddess of a childbirth and a protector of all children, and then we see the two personalities scream, and plus with that third the Watoba that must be doing Jake Lockley, and which we were back saw back in episode 3 when we tried to kill some of those guys, even though it wasn't Mark or Steven, it was definitely Jake Lockley who was in that tube, which it is the third personality, and plus what we see here is like the two personalities meeting each other, and now with the third personality, and I think we're about to see the three personalities of Mark Spector meet each other. Plus, what is a mind-blowing and crazy cliffhanger ending that definitely sets the game. And plus, I mean, it's like a change. The game is a totally a game changer. That totally like a set stone for the rest of the series. And now with Mark just like being in the hospital, and then now with Mark being shot by Arthur, and like dying underwater, and then now he's dead, and woke up in the straight in the hospital, and I think this is all in Mark's head, but because with Layla, he treats the Mark like his nurse and not his actual wife, and now with him being his second personality, and then with the two personalities talking, with that insane ending and cliffhanger, I think this is all in Mark's head. As we think about this as a whole. And yeah, with episode 4, I thought it was like so great, and we got to see more of like Steven and Layla, and plus with Arthur too, and plus with that like a mind blowing and like crazy twist ending, with the two personalities meeting each other, and then hugging, and then we see a Victoria as well with a hippo. I think it was one of the plushes back in episode 1, but like man, that was like a good episode, and plus with the two personalities meeting, and plus with that Toph, I think that was like the third personality, Jake Lockley. I hope he gets to freed probably through the next episode as well. But man, that episode was clear though, the game changer. It totally sets up the last 2 episodes of Moon. I think what down the road for the last 2 episodes, especially for the finale as well. And plus like that was like a mind blowing ending of the two personalities, Steven and Mark, meeting each other and hugging as well. And plus, I mean that was like a mind blowing ending as well. So that's gonna be it for this video. Let me know thoughts in the comments down below, and what are your thoughts on Moon Knight episode 4 and that crazy mind-blowing reveal ending that totally sets up the last 2 episodes of the series. Let me know in the comments down below, and give me a rating between 1 out of 10. Don't forget this video like and subscribe and turn on notification bell for future videos. And you can find my Instagram and Twitter for live updates. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.